Hey folks, Daily Landsblog for the, what day, Case?
13th.
13th of August 2019. 3 marks on my arm. I put one on. I'm not sure what day it was last week. I just, I really, I just, I just felt myself, I wanted to just put my head down and I just wanted to disappear. And I just wanted to find a way to be able to convey to people what it felt like. But it's really hard. It's really hard to explain in terms that will bridge the gap. So here you have people like me and many of you who suffer from depression, say. And here you have the rest of the world that has never been through it. And the gap is so wide between the two. It's so difficult for us to explain to these people what it feels like. So when they walk around ignorant with no idea what it feels like, it's not really their fault. So I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for ideas on how we, as a charity, SickNotWeak, could do something that would convey to people what it is that we are feeling. And one of the toughest things, I had a really fascinating meeting today with some folks, and they were talking about how it's difficult to show the negative. Meaning, if you have symptoms that are positive symptoms, I don't mean good, I mean positive symptoms, like if you have schizophrenia and you hear voices, those kinds of things tend to be easier to explain to people. But the absence of things becomes really difficult. Did you see that food shoot out of my mouth, Case?
I actually did, but that's
Yeah, I was going to say, Doc, look out! So in terms of depression, the hardest thing to do is to explain the absence of joy, the absence of feeling joy when something good happens. And I think until we find a way to bridge the gap between the two and to create better understanding, we will continue to have this stigma, because I think that lack of understanding in a lot of ways is the stigma, because there's this feeling, how bad can it be and how real is it? So I want your advice. I want you to help us explain to people, is there a way you can do it? I saw very effective, like Mothers Against Drunk Driving remember that ad where they would put the glass in front of, I guess it was a car driving, right? And it was from the driver's view, right? They would put one glass in front and you could still see through it, and then they would put another and another, and eventually all the vision was distorted. And you realize they made a really good point in that way. Remember that, Case?
yeah.
There have been really effective ways to convey what schizophrenia feels like. But I don't think anyone has ever done it with depression. And that's our goal. Our goal is to do something that will, as I say, bridge the gap between those who suffer and those who don't. Please help us. SickNotWeak.com, 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. We're here to do exactly that, to try to explain to people what this is all about, because understanding leads to compassion.